Imagine a season where a single player is rewriting the record books, where teams that were expected to dominate are falling apart, and where rookies are either dazzling or disappointing beyond belief. What if I told you Nikola Jokic is putting up numbers that sound like a video game cheat code, or that the Cavaliers are making history while the 76ers crumble into chaos? And here's the big question. Could this be the wildest NBA season we've ever witnessed? As we begin to fully immerse ourselves in the chaos that is the 2025 NBA season, the figures are more absurd than they have ever been. There are a lot of things that are making the league throb with excitement and anomalies, such as mind-blowing player statistics and unexpected team performances. Nikola Jokic is a statistical unicorn, according to the statistics. If you were to combine the dominance of Shaquille O'Neal, the consistency of Tim Duncan, and the playmaking genius of Chris Paul, what would the result be? Then, Nikola Jokic appeared. As a player who has already won the Most Valuable Player award twice, Jokic has elevated his game to new heights this season. Jokic is averaging a mind-boggling 29.7 points, 13.7 rebounds, and 11.7 assists per game, which are figures that are reminiscent of the greatest players in the NBA, but combined into one unstoppable package. In addition to this, he is shooting an incredible 56% from beyond the arc, which is a shooting percentage that is even higher than Steph Curry's record-setting 45% from outside the arc during his season. There are some things that remain the same in the National Basketball Association, NBA, even when new players emerge and great accomplishments are accomplished. The unending strains that Kawhi Leonard suffers from. Despite being one of the most gifted players in NBA history and having won the Most Valuable Player award in the finals twice, Kawhi Leonard has become the poster child for injury troubles. There is no end in sight to Zion Williamson's absences. As a player who is considered to be of generational skill, Zion Williamson should be dominating the NBA at the age of just 24. One cannot help but worry whether he will ever be able to realize his full potential or whether injuries will be the defining factor in his career. The decline of LeBron James 2.0 is perfectly predictable. LeBron James 2.0, often known as Bronny James, has so far failed to live up to the expectations that were placed on him when he first entered the NBA. Given the current circumstances, it is reasonable to wonder whether Bronny will be able to emerge from the shadow cast by his father and establish his own legacy. The decline of Philadelphia's position in the world. From the beginning of the season, it was anticipated that the Philadelphia 76ers would be among the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Instead, they have suddenly dropped to the bottom of the Eastern Conference, behind even the Washington Wizards, who are in the process of rebuilding. But how did this come about? According to reports, the inconsistency and off-court troubles that Embiid has been experiencing have spread to the rest of the squad, causing disorder in a roster that is filled to the brim with talented players. The historical beginning of the Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers have come out of nowhere to open the season with a record of 15-0, making them the second-best start in NBA history, behind only the legendary 2016 Warriors. In the course of the season, the Cavaliers have emerged as the Cinderella story thanks to their well-balanced squad and outstanding coaching. At the time, Cleveland was not considered a leading contender in the Eastern Conference, so this dominance came as a surprise. Despite this, they have reached heights that few people could have predicted thanks to the great team camaraderie and breakout performances they have displayed. The three-point revolution and the critics who oppose it. The three-point shot is the most important aspect of modern basketball, yet the fact that the game is so dependent on deep shooting has prompted a discussion regarding the entertainment value of the game. Although there are some people who enjoy this style of play, legends such as Shaquille O'Neal have expressed their concerns about the possibility that the three-point revolution is driving away viewers. The fascination that the league has with three-point shots raises issues about whether or not basketball is heading in the wrong direction as a sport. The scoring explosion contributed by LaMelo Ball. With a scoring average of about 30 points per game, LaMelo Ball has established himself as one of the most exciting scorers in the league. It is a bizarre experience to watch LaMelo dominate at this level, particularly for those who recall his time spent at Chino Hills High School during his high school days. The heist of the Knicks and the Bucks' struggles. Julius Randle was traded to Karl Anthony Towns by the New York Knicks, which is widely considered to be one of the most successful moves in recent history. Giannis Antetokounmpo may be re-evaluating his long-term future in Milwaukee as a result of Lillard's ineffective shooting, which has led to questions being made about whether or not he is a good fit for the team. The resurgence of the Golden State. Playing their greatest basketball since the dynasty years, the Golden State Warriors have reclaimed their position as the best team in the Western Conference. Nevertheless, their lack of size at the center position continues to be their Achilles heel, and it is a disadvantage that teams like the Clippers take advantage of regularly. Sensations and letdowns associated with being a rookie. Although Bronny James has not lived up to expectations, some rookies are establishing a name for themselves. His reliance on three-point shooting and underutilization of his size have dampened expectations for his long-term supremacy, despite the fact that he scored his first game with 50 points. These are the regrets of the Timberwolves. One of the most perplexing decisions that the Minnesota Timberwolves have ever made was to trade Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle. Numerous individuals, including fans and analysts, have voiced their disapproval of the transaction, describing it as one of the worst moves of the season. It serves as a glaring illustration of how a single poor choice can completely halt the progression of a business. The confrontation between the Splash Brothers is the defining moment of the season. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, who had previously played together, squared off against each other in what was likely the most entertaining game of the season up to this point. The game was a perfect example of everything that makes basketball so exciting: the competition, the skill, and the drama. A glance towards the future. Even though we are only a few months into the 2025 NBA season, we have already experienced experiences that will live long in the memory. Now that we are moving on, there is one thing that is certain. The most outrageous stats and narratives are still to come. Fans of basketball, stay tuned, because the season is about to get very exciting. If you're loving the breakdown of this wild NBA season and want to stay updated on the latest stats, stories, and surprises, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications.